everybody, and welcome back. It's Inside Gaming Daily. It's Monday, and we're clapping because we're excited and we're having a great time. And you know what? A couple extra claps for Parasite too. Way to go, Junho.
Yeah.
And I guess Joaquin.
I don't watch foreign movies. Speak American.
Happy Monday, everybody. Let's talk about Anthem again. Oh, here we go. And how it's becoming the divorced dad of video games. We actually brought in local expert Brian Gard to weigh in on this one. Brian?
I feel like I was born to comment on this story. Let's do it.
Yeah, there was a lot of controversy over the weekend about Christmas lights in the game. Holiday lights.
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that it's now February and Anthem still hasn't taken them down.
Hey, in fairness, Anthem only sees its kids every other weekend, and it's got a one-bedroom apartment that smells like cigarettes and Tinder. So the Christmas holiday lights really liven up the place year-round. Also, they're usually drunk past noon and can't get much done.
Yeah, tossing the local expert Brian Gard for this one. Brian, what does Tinder smell like?
A whole lot of left swipes.
You've swiped a divot into your phone screen.
Back in my day, if you dated on the internet, you would probably get murdered.
You're more of a Christian mingle guy.
You big on J-Date, Brian?
More of a Craigslist man myself.
Equestrian love is still around.
Well, it never goes away, does it? Brian, tell us what's been going on with Anthem.
So boys, Anthem's gotten a lot of heat over the last year for being a buggy mess with no content. You might remember, we made a few videos on it. That's probably why it's divorced. Then lots of people, including us, thought it was basically abandoned by BioWare, you know, considering it had no player base anymore. But boys, maybe Anthem, I don't know, it's just dying of neglect. That's what the Christmas lights seem like a sign of.
It's like an old antique store that no one goes to, but the owner also owns the building, so they don't really have to shut it down.
Do you need anything? No! Anyway, if Anthem were a person, we'd be really hurting its feelings right now. That was the line from Brian.
It's okay to not be okay, buddy.
If Anthem was a person, it would be on its fourth Coors Light at 9 a.m. That's
Nice.
also a line from Brian. It's not sadness, it's just a power move. If you can trust your farts past the 12 p.m. mark, you're not living life to the fullest.
Cake and eggs on a Tuesday, baby. But wait! Yes, things look bad, but Anthem's not dead yet. In fact, just before we started shooting this story, BioWare came out with a big blog post saying that they're going to do a substantial reinvention of the game. Yeah, just moments before we were gonna shoot.
Literally.
Like, yeah.
5 minutes before we shot.
Postponing the shoot,
So
basically.
that confirms earlier reports from a few months back that a reboot is in the works. Turns out it is.
Oh.
Yeah, Anthem is now the divorced dad who's taking martial arts classes.
It's into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, that's the one. Anthem's wearing affliction t-shirts.
I had to rewrite this whole script in like 20 minutes. That's the power of the 9 a.m. Coors Light.
But first, let's talk about Treegate. So this all started a few days ago when games journalist Sam Loveridge tweeted a screenshot of the game and wrote, "Decided to have a dip back into Anthem. The fact that all the Christmas decks are still up made it feel even sadder."
Oh.
Well, the child of a broken home within me has officially been stirred. Time to cry. Hey, my parents are still together.
Not for
Can brag
long.
about it.
Look, maybe Anthem's just going through a lot right now and doesn't have the time. It's been busy going back to the gym, getting his dad bod looking right. Just got a confusing bicep tattoo and started smoking cigarettes in the garage, but it's all good. He's never felt better. He's learning to love himself again. He's getting back out there. He's dating again.
Shirt with buttons on it, maybe?
Yep.
He's in a polyamorous relationship and he's very confused about it.
You've accidentally become a pay pig, but they realize that there's no money to hold over your head.
He's insisting on a prenup, but he's $7 in debt.
Anyway, maybe Anthem's one of those weirdos who keeps their Christmas decorations up all year long. Again, you have to assume that's due to a deep depression, but hey, you do you total freaks.
Yeah, maybe it's just celebrating its 1-year anniversary of being BioWare's biggest bomb ever. Oof. Sorry, Mass Effect Andromeda. It's time to give up that mushy-mouthed crown and move on to greener pastures.
Oh God, what's wrong with its legs?
Oh, God.
Why is it running like that?
Kill.
Yeah, the Christmas tree went kind of viral, and lots of people took it as proof that Anthem has been abandoned by EA and BioWare. And we're calling it Treegate over here because
gotta
we're,
call it
quote,
Gate.
journalists.
And journalists love to put gate at the end of things.
Brian will only talk to us in person in a fedora and a trench coat in a dark parking garage.
He insists we call him Deep Throat. Yeah, so Brian, have they ditched the game?
Well, you'd be forgiven for thinking that because pretty much ever since Anthem launched, they've had to prioritize fixing core problems rather than introducing new content. Instead of starting from the ground up, they're still digging their way out of their own grave, which means they're either a zombie or a vampire, and they must be destroyed with holy water and a cross.
The only way to get him, God.
Requiem in pace. But after Christmas Light Gate, or Treegate, or whatever the hell we're calling it, Gate, blew up over the weekend, lots of people pointed out that there's a good reason why the lights are still up. Because BioWare planned it this way?
No, son, I meant to keep my tree up until July. It's festive. I'm not crying. I'm allergic to a tree.
Anyway, how's your mom's new boyfriend?
Yeah, the lights were part of the game's Ice Tide when winter event. Shut up. And lots of games do seasonal events like this. You add some snow and lights to the world, maybe introduce some new items and events, and it's a way to lure people back into the game because we all love a holiday celebration where we don't have to see or think about our relatives. Racist Uncle Bobby can't get you in a video game.
So in Anthem's case, BioWare had already announced that they were going to extend the Ice Tide event into February because when you only have 3 people working on a game, you need to make those events last. Probably give them a couple tips on stretching things out way longer than they needed to be. Hey BioWare, give us a call.
So anyway, they meant to keep the Christmas tree up until February. Sure. Still though, that's not the sign of a very healthy game. There's no shame in therapy, Anthem. It doesn't make you less of a man.
Whatever happened to bottling it all up until you die of ulcers at 55?
Oh no, that still happens.
Nothing about Anthem has gone according to plan. It released in February and had a rough launch, to say the very least. The gameplay was buggy, there weren't enough things to do, and players felt like they'd bought a game that was not finished. So, really good dunk material for this channel early on, and we salute it for its service. Thank you, we are still dunking to this day.
And hopefully we may never stop dunking. The player base has long since evaporated. BioWare completely abandoned its content roadmap, and there were some high-profile departures that made it look like nobody was in charge of the game. So, Brian, is Anthem really dead at this point? Will the decorations stay up forever?
Connor, it turns out no, Anthem is still very much alive. And breaking news, just this morning, like we said, BioWare GM Casey Hudson put up a blog post detailing what's coming next. And if you're wondering, man, y'all spent a long time talking about this older stuff before you got to the new stuff. Yeah, I had to write this on the fly. I put it all at the bottom of the script, so here we go.
You're welcome, guys. You get 2 stories today.
Yeah, DM him directly if you have a problem with this one.
Yes, you can DM at mynuts@gmail.com.
Hudson wrote that over the coming months, we will be focusing on a longer-term redesign of the experience, specifically working to reinvent the core gameplay loop, the CGL, with clear goals, motivating challenges, and progression with meaningful rewards. Oh, like a game. While preserving the fun of flying and fighting in a vast science fantasy setting.
You know, they could have just finished the game when they released it in 2019 and had all of those things.
Oh yeah,
which all seem like normal things that you would want in a game, but
I was so excited for Anthem.
I know, I'm sorry.
It's fine. Played Stardew Valley a lot. It's not the same.
No, it's not the same. It's an entirely different game.
It's entirely not the same thing.
I'm not saying it's the same game. It's just like I can wallow in my loneliness and plant some jazz plants or
jazz plants.
Jazz flowers.
Hudson went on to say, and to do that properly, we'll be doing something we'd like to have done more of the first time around, giving a focused team the time to test and iterate, focusing on gameplay first. What?
Jesus Christ. This is why games are awful now.
It's just normal game development. What the hell were the other people doing?
I don't know.
Smoking jazz cigarettes?
It feels like they make video games now the way I used to study for finals in high school. Jesus Christ.
Well, anyway, this is still great news, jargon notwithstanding, for the players who stuck with Anthem and tried to wring some fun out of it. And it's even better for everyone else who bought Anthem at a fire sale price over the last year. I went down to, I think, 8, and it was still too high for me.
$8?
Yeah.
Holy sh**.
I saw it somewhere once. I was like, no, I don't know.
Hudson also acknowledged the game's issues, saying that over the last year, the team has worked hard to improve stability, performance, and general quality of life while delivering 3 seasons of new content and features.
Yeah, and he even mentioned fans' anger over the state of the game, right, Brian?
Yeah, he said, we have also heard your feedback that Anthem needs a more satisfying loot experience, better long-term progression, and a more fulfilling endgame. So we recognize that there's still more fundamental work to be done to bring out the full potential of the experience, and it will require a more substantial reinvention than an update or expansion. So it definitely sounds like they're working on a really big reboot of the game, but the question now is how long is that going to take?
Well, Hudson didn't give a timeline for the reboot, but he said that in the meantime, they'll keep running the current version of Anthem, but they're going to move away from full seasons as the team works towards the future of Anthem.
But they said they'll keep the game going with events, store refreshes, and revisiting past seasonal and Cataclysm content, starting with the game's anniversary towards the end of this month. Hey baby, I know it's been a rough year since the big day, but
we're going to Vegas. Everything's gonna be all right.
And I got us the finest Motel 6 that's pleading on your hands and knees.
$5 lobster.
Did these roses look like they came from the grocery store? Because they did.
Hudson signed off by saying, creating new worlds is central to our studio mission, but it's not easy. Sometimes we get it right, sometimes we miss. What keeps us going is the support from players like you. Your feedback gives us guidance on how we can improve, and your passion inspires us with the courage to create.
The the courage to create.
How brave of you to release something unfinished and broken.
So this confirms a report a few months ago from Kotaku, which said that BioWare was planning a complete overhaul of the game.
And it also seems to echo a lot of the fans' comments that there is a solid foundation to build on, and obviously BioWare feels the same way. So they're gonna take another stab at trying to save Anthem.
Best of luck.
Yeah.
So there you go, despite having the Christmas lights up and an apartment full of empty beer cans,
They're ornaments.
Anthem has been hitting the gym and it's coming back hard, baby.
Ah! We do not have a date for the big return, and probably neither does BioWare, but maybe we'll get a reboot by this holiday season. Hey, until then, you might as well keep the Christmas lights up, right?
Yeah, they can act like they planned it that way.
It's funny. We left the Christmas decorations up all year round.
That is the line of thought for just like a college house. I know, because that's what we did.
Let me guess. No ad today.
And here we go.
No ad, no ass.
And Autumn's making the beat. And go. Okay, I can hear it. Patrick will add it back in post.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Inside Gaming Daily for Monday.
Our favorite day of the week.
I love hearing Brian clap over there. It always sounds mildly dirty.
Sounds dirty, but that screen is looking mighty fine.
I'm still a dirty boy at heart.
You might have heard that things aren't so good for Anthem these days.
Wow, that is completely new information to me. I definitely haven't ever heard that